it's Nerderinos here, and welcome to my version of hell. My roof's leaking. Yes, over in that corner, it's totally wrecked. The wall is disintegrated, there's black mold, and it leaked all over my Masters of the Universe, which I was not happy about because my Moss Man is now wrecked, so we had to take my landlord to court. They still won't fix it, they can't find the leak, and so everything on that corner of the room is in this corner of the room. The VHS is on the floor, I've got a pinball machine right there. I've got two shelves in front of other shelves, so the things that I wanted to film and the things I wanted to read are actually inaccessible. I can't get to them. So I was thinking, what shall I film today? I really feel like filming, and then I looked up and like a heaven's light came down, and there they were, my Press Pop toy collection of Daniel Clowes comic book characters. Yes, that's what we're talking about today. I've wanted to do this video for so long, and since my hair is now green like Enid from the Ghost World movie, which is half the reason I did it this color, I thought it was a perfect time to talk about it. So these are made in Japan by a company called Press Pop, except for one item, which is actually a cup, so I don't know if it counts. I have no idea where the cup is from. We'll get to that. But let's talk about Daniel Clowes, who is one of my favorite comic book creators of all time. I actually have a tattoo of Enid on my leg. I've had it for a very long time, and I grew up reading Daniel Clowes' comics. I first read Ghost World because I looked like her on the front cover, and I was just really excited to see a character that looked like me. Straight away, I felt a connection to those characters. He writes really unusual relationships, really awkward interactions. He exaggerates everything about a character. They look like complete crazy characters, and I just absolutely fell in love. My favorite of all time is obviously Ghost World. I've read it so many times. I have so many different versions, which I wish I could show you, but they're in the shelves behind. Let's start off with my Enid toys, because there are a lot of them. There's currently 5 different Enids in my collection. Some are Enid as a teenager, and some are Enid as Little Enid, which is a kind of separate character within the 8-Ball comic series. So, we'll start off with our Little Enids. I currently have 2, I believe there's 4 in the collections. The one I want more than anything is the Enid with my coloured hair, the green hair. I've looked for it for years. They never come up on eBay, and when they do, they are so ridiculously priced, and I never ever win them if I'm trying to bid on them, so maybe one day I will find it. There's also little Enids that came out, like about this small, about an inch tall. I don't have any of those. I've never seen them. It's very upsetting, but I would love to own one day. In the meantime, I have these 2 little Enids. Their feet don't move, they can't really pose. They have little arms that can go up and down. They're both meant to come with a little handbag, however I didn't get that one with this one, which is why it was a little bit cheaper, but this one does have her little handbag. She's just a hard vinyl toy for looking at, not so much for playing with. So those little Enids come in a very special box here, designed by Daniel Clowes, with all original art just for the toys. It's got the Press Pop logo there, and on the front, which I absolutely love. It's such an old school looking logo, really 60s feeling. I love this image of little Enid on the front, walking down the street with her little freckles. You've got that funny little expression on the top, the cosmic space travel there, and then in the middle of the desert with her ray gun again. It's just such a wonderful box design. I will never get rid of it. I actually make it part of the design up the top, and it says, "I'm the cutest doll ever." on the top, which I absolutely love. It's Enid from Ghost World when she was a little girl. Thanks for the information, Press Pop, but what a box. How good does that look? Amazing. This is my newest edition. It's the bigger Little Enid. I know so we've got tiny 1-inch, then we've got Little Enid, then bigger Little Enid, and believe it or not, there's an even bigger Enid, which is about this big, which I cannot afford. It's really limited, and it's thousands of dollars, and I can't buy the same thing in 3 different size versions. That's ludicrous, even though I really want to. Anyway, so this is my bigger Little Enid. I'm a little bit sad when it arrived because it didn't have a box. It didn't come in a beautiful box designed by Daniel Clowes. It just came in a plastic bag, but I waited nearly 2 years for this. I pre-ordered it so long ago that I was just so gosh darn happy to have it when it arrived. It's exactly the same as our Little Enid here. The only difference is that this Enid has her bag, her beautiful yellow bag. It does actually move its feet instead of its arms. You can't move its arms up and down, but I absolutely love it. She's also not matte like the other ones. These guys have a matte finish to the vinyl. This one's shiny, which is taking a little bit of getting used to, but I also like the hand-painted skin finish to it. Reminds me of an old baby doll, like from the 60s, that kind of look. Absolutely love it. These are the Rebecca and Enid plush toys. I believe this is the only plush toy that Press Pop have released. It's Rebecca and Enid going about their days in teenage teenage form, not as little Enid. I was really upset because in the last couple of years the plastic disintegrated and fell away from the cardboard, so I had to sticky tape it on, which I feel was a stupid decision, but hey, I'm never going to sell these, they're just for me, so as long as it looks good, it's fine. I love the printed look of it. It feels again like a 60s toy, or even in the 80s if you had those Care Bears that you had to cut out of fabric and sew yourself. It just really reminds me of that. My brother had a wonderful Care Bear which he took everywhere with him, and so look at this, kind of reminds me of that. It makes me happy, makes me think of my brother who's a cool dude. So anyway, fabric toys, you've got both sides, a different picture on both sides, which is really, really cool, really fun design. And then you have the Press Pop logo as well as the Ghost World logo on the bottom of it. So a cute little addition. And I think it's important to note that Press Pop is a tiny little toy company out of Japan that just make custom toys. There's a lot of Daniel Clowes and a lot of indie comic creator toys, and that's what they really focus on. They're really high quality and they should really be supported because what they do is incredible for the size of their company. I can't believe the quality of their toys. So much imagination goes into them. This is the last of my Eneds, but not the last of my Daniel Clowes toys, which I want to share with you. This is from a different company, not Press Pop, and it's by Necessities Toy Foundation. It's beautifully sculpted, I think, by Daniel Clowes and then made by a toy maker. It comes with accessories, including her fetish or Batgirl mask, her club, which she clubs people with, and her little ray gun, which is so flipping awesome. Her arms move up and down. You can style her head that way, but she doesn't stand too well, so I always panic and lean her back a bit, because one time I didn't and the top of the ray gun chipped off and I was devastated. I died a little bit inside. I love that she has an iconic zebra print skirt on. It's one of my favorite parts, and I just absolutely love this toy. It was such a surprise to get from my husband, who found a local seller in Australia, in Melbourne near us, and went and purchased it from them directly and delivered it to me in the incredible box that it comes in. This is my favorite box design of all time. That's a big call, but it just looks really, really 60s, and I absolutely love the imagery on the front. It has all the bits and pieces that's included. That text is amazing. On the back, it just really looks like a 60s infomercial type art, or something that you may get in the mail on how to use a bra or something like that, but I absolutely love it. On the sides you have the ray gun comic here, and then the club comic on the other side. Isn't it stunning? Here we have my two Puggy Beats. What a funny little fellow. He's from the 8-Ball comics and just kind of is always in the background of his housemate's apartment in his socks and underpants, and he's just a strange guy and he just wanders around and he doesn't have a lot to say. He's charming and delightful and everybody loves him, and these are the two versions of him. The only difference is this one has a shirt and no socks, and this one has socks. So I don't know why we bought both, but we did, and I love him, and he's just such a happy little fellow. And one of them, this guy, actually lives in this very special cup. I put him in here because they always fall over because they're very top heavy. This is my incredibly rare 8-Ball cup, which I found at a local market here in Melbourne. Randomly, I was walking past and saw it out the corner of my eye, and I was just bewildered. I didn't even know this existed. I don't know who made it. I think it might be from Daniel Clowes' official store. I have no idea the history of this mug, but here we have all kinds of pictures of Daniel Clowes and his characters from the history of 8-Ball. It's such an incredible mug. I've never used it. It's only to display my Puggy Beat. Isn't it beautiful? And here is my final toy. This is Death Ray, a Daniel Clowes character and solo comic. It's such a wonderful hardcover. It has the coolest 60s feeling retro art. You should definitely check it out. We found this randomly in a toy store at the top of the city, and we're walking past just buying like toilet paper or groceries, and there it was. This is rare. This is the rarest of all of them, I believe, and they didn't make many because it wasn't such an iconic character like, you know, Enid from Ghost World. So there, this is him. He's very articulated. As I said, you can move all the joints in his arm, his elbow, his leg can move any direction. You can pose him in so many different ways. His little fabric bodysuit is so adorable. He also has his little red gloves. His vinyl head can also be moved around so you can pose and do him in action shots. And he has his ray gun, the Death Ray, down the side in red, in popping yellow. I love how bright the colors on this toy are. He always falls over, and I need to get him a doll stand because I just don't want him to ever get wrecked. But I love playing with this one so much. And this is the incredible box. It has a kind of a pearlescent look to it and a sheen. It's got the death ray down the side and death ray on the front with the ray gun. Look at this amazing box. So that's my Daniel Clowes toy collection. Which one is your favorite? Is it Death Ray? Is it Big Enid or bigger Little Enid or Little Enid or... I had so much fun filming this. I've had the most stressful, terrible week, and this is the perfect way to relax, to play with toys, hang out with you guys. Are you fans of Daniel Clowes? Let me know in the comments down below. What's your favorite Clowes comic? I would love to know. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will catch you again really soon. Bye!